as I lay here looking at the dark sky, I just wanted to record some of the thoughts I'm having. I'm having a very weird moment. I was experiencing a lot of anxiety an hour ago. And lately I've been dealing with body aches and body pain. And just restlessness and not being able to sleep. And it's really taking a toll on my body and therefore my mind. And it's been really difficult, to be honest, just trying to be normal, trying to function. And I think to myself, as I scroll through Instagram, my Instagram feed, that's now full of, just stuff about anxiety and depression and mental health and self-love and self-care and trauma and relationships, romantic ones, or friendships or situationships. Not that I even think I understand what that means right now. I see this post about anxiety, yes, anxiety, but I think it said something more along the lines of, inside the brain or the mind of an anxious person. And, it basically described, there were multiple slides, and every slide basically described who I am, or incorrect, because that's not who I am, but the thoughts I have, the cognitive distortions I have about life and myself and the other people in my life. And I think to myself, I've had depression and anxiety since I can even remember. Since I was a young kid. I remember the first time I experienced true anxiety was, I think I was in the 4th or 5th grade, and there was this girl I was really attracted to. I thought she was the prettiest girl in the school. And I remember comparing myself to others, thinking, man, why would she like me? Because I had the biggest crush on her. Why would she like me, I think to myself? Why would she ever look at me? She would rather hang out with this guy who's funny and talented and who can actually sing and is athletic and, is good looking. And I would constantly put my own self down. And I don't know why I would do that. And I think I still don't, but, I don't know where I got that sort of thinking from. I would constantly put myself down. And I remember I would experience true anxiety, trying to prove myself in silly ways. I was a kid. I was like, 8 or 9 at the time, and I remember thinking, man, I'm chunky. I'm a chunky kid, and I think, my family would joke about it. Maybe that's why I was so self-conscious and thinking I wasn't worthy of anybody else's attention. But that's not the point. The point is, I had a lot of anxiety because of that or not. And it really sucked because that's, I was so young. And I tried to prove and the ways I tried proving myself was by puffing up my chest and sucking in my stomach, just so I wouldn't look fat, or not fat, but I would look skinnier and more strong. And honestly, that was the first time I remember experiencing anxiety. Not that I knew what it was, but I remember being really unhappy about it. I'd have multiple like breakdowns, like emotional breakdowns, like mental breakdowns, and it was really hard to deal with, and I didn't know how, because I was a kid and all I knew was video games and cartoons and food, and that's it. That's all I knew. I didn't know anything. And I've been depressed for the longest time, maybe not since childhood, but I definitely knew I was depressed in middle school because I felt the same way. Because I didn't love myself. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what love means. Maybe I still don't. But I would compare myself to others, and again, I'd have a crush on a girl, and I'd compare myself to others right away and put myself down, and I didn't like how I looked, and and I don't understand why, that it would just repeat itself over and over and over. And that's such a really shitty way to live and think of yourself and the world. But now I'm older, and it's true, as you get older, you grow wiser. Hopefully. Maybe others at a slower rate. But that's okay, as long as you're growing and, you're putting in the work to grow, then that's respectable. And for that, you can love yourself for. Even then, you can love yourself even when you're struggling. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. Anybody and everyone deserves love. Some sort of compassion and love and understanding and caring. Because that's what people need. It's a fucking hard, tough, scary world out there. And yeah, maybe it's such a bad way to look at life, but a lot of the times it can be true, very, very true, and very, very just difficult. Which is why we have to be kind to everybody and love one another. And maybe not so much love. Love is a strong word. But definitely be kind and caring and considerate. At the least, it's the least we can do. Not just to others, but to ourselves. Because it all starts with self-love. And that's the journey I'm on right now. I'm trying to learn how to love myself and care for myself. That way, I can make the world a better place by loving and caring for others the right way. But I guess that's all I have to say.